Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Mind your business. Only on Money FM 89.3.
Good morning. Welcome to Mind Your Business. I'm Ahmad Akhtar. If there's one thing today's entrepreneurs can't afford to ignore, it's digital marketing. The way we connect with customers, build brands, and scale businesses has changed dramatically, fueled by algorithms, platforms, performance metrics, and increasingly AI. But amid all the noise, there's still one timeless truth. If you want to grow, you need a sound strategy that actually moves the needle. Our next guest is someone who's not just keeping up with the fast-evolving digital landscape, she's actively shaping it. She's the co-founder cum chief executive officer of Kredence Creative Solutions, a Malaysia-based full-stack digital marketing agency that's made serious waves across Southeast Asia. So without further ado, let's welcome her on the show. Suet Keem, good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, good morning. Thank you, Mark. I hope you guys have a beautiful Thursday morning.
Thank you very much for the kind wishes. Hope you're having a wonderful morning as well. Let's kickstart this conversation by asking about how you would describe the current state of digital marketing in Southeast Asia. What is unique about this region?
Well, Southeast Asia is currently undergoing an accelerated digital transformations, very obviously. So unlike the other mature markets where the growth has kind of like flattened, so SE is still in a rapid adoption phase for digital and tech stuff like AI tools, but with an interesting twist. So consumers here are digitally native, but yet culturally distinct, because creating a fragmented yet high potential ecosystem in digital marketing landscape. So what's unique here is the duality, I believe. So brands will have to balance from a global brand best practices perspective with a hyper-local execution. So whether it's language nuance, digital channel preferences, for example, in Thailand, they are more active on Line instead of WhatsApp. So all the purchasing behavior from the local market. So every market in the region requires its own, I would call it blueprint. The digital playbook that works in Singapore might fail in Indonesia if it's not adopted thoughtfully.
Now, 2020 seems like an eternity ago, but it's only been 5 years. That's when COVID-19 hit and when the world nearly came to a halt. Now, interestingly enough, you founded Kredence Creative Solutions at the height of the pandemic. What inspired you to start the company at that time? You know, what gaps did you hope to fill in the digital marketing landscape?
Okay, so at that point of time, we don't have the intention to actually start this agency right in the middle of the pandemic time, but we actually see some gaps that is actually happening in the market, and then we intend come up with a mission to actually fill the gap. So KCS was founded on the belief and mission to bridge the gap between the creative brand building and the performance outcome. So we saw a gap in the market where some agencies were either too focused on brand building without having the middle or lower funnel strategies in place, or a purely performance-driven with no storytelling depth. So when cases came in, we are trying to bridge the gap between both with a very ultimate outcome to strive for commerce.
Okay. So what is it from your experience that most businesses often get wrong about their digital marketing strategies? And what is Kredence's approach to preparing or curating a solution that actually works?
Okay, so I think the biggest challenge actually, this is not just happening in Singapore, but in fact, it's the biggest challenge that's actually happening in SE markets. So the challenge actually lies in a misaligned expectation between strategy and measurement. So most brands today want measurable results, ROI or ROAS that we are talking about right here. But then we often see that even brand awareness campaigns are being judged solely by conversion outcomes. So there is a contradiction happens between or when businesses invest in a top funnel of storytelling or reach campaigns, but the KPIs they care about are still bottom funnel of sales, leads, ROAS. So it creates a tension in the strategy execution and the misreads the role of each marketing layer. So KCS is there to actually educate and walk our clients through from the very top funnel of things until the very bottom funnel of the marketing layer. So then this will actually truly achieve a measurable digital growth, or brands always wanted something called full funnel mindset and plan and strategy. So KCS will then have to bring in the very clear attribution models, and then we will act as a partner who can bridge the gap between, again, like what I mentioned earlier, to bridge the gap between creative brand building and the performance outcomes.
Okay, thanks for that summary. I'm just curious to know what your customer demographic is. So what kind of industries come to you for help, and are they big or small in nature?
So we started off this agency by serving small enterprises in Malaysia, particularly. But then right after, we were headhunted to serve global brands, because they can see that the results that we bring into the business growth. So ever since then, we have been involved in serving small enterprises to global brands in SEA. So currently, we managed to push our services out from Malaysia very actively in Malaysia, Singapore, and then now to Thailand, Indonesia, and so on and so forth. So our clients are mainly came from, I would say, 3 big industries at the moment. One, it's home and electronics industry. Second is the building industry. And third is the pharmaceutical industry. And followed by some sub-industries that we are targeting on right now. They are precisely coming from energy industries.
Okay, very interesting wide array of industries that you cater to. In terms of, you mentioned measurable digital growth is something that you try to provide to your clients. Do you have any case studies highlighting this? Perhaps some customers that you've helped in terms of executing campaigns or what have you that you can share with us?
So basically, we have quite a number of clienteles and also a lot of case studies, because when we come to digital marketing, it's not just about one strategy that works everything. So our job here is basically to build out the touch points for our clientele. So when I mention about touch points, it can be from social media touch points and from one platform to many social media platforms. And then we have to talk about Google, and we have to talk about now the AI search, ChatGPT, Gemini. And these are the platforms that we are actually working actively to help our clients grow. So throughout, since the day we founded the company, we have run at least 30,000 of campaigns digitally for our clients. And then the ROAS itself is actually striving more than 35 times for them. In their overall.
Okay. Any specific examples that you can share with us? Perhaps, a client coming to you with a problem and how you managed to walk them through and find a solution?
Yeah. So there's a brand that I would say there is the very first brand from a global level that actually trusted in us as a peanut agency when we first started and founded. So I remember very clearly that we were actually pitching in against 4 other global agencies, and we actually got awarded and offered the task to actually run performance marketing media for them. And then they came to us with the problem of they are still pretty on the bottom funnel execution at that moment. So I would say it's a very tactical marketing at the time. So what KCS is trying to pitch in to help them is that we are trying to come up with a strategic marketing plan where we can come from the top funnel of marketing layer, and then we go down to step by steps. So from there, actually, the very proud portfolio that I can share is that at that time, the brand awareness wasn't that strong for certain new product launchings in the market, because it's a very long-term brand already in the market, since I'm sure that I'm a millennial, and the brand is already there when I was a baby. So what I can tell. So the challenge for the brand is, it's not that you are a long-term, well-known brand that means you can get more conversions. There are more generations that are catching up. So, for example, now Gen Z, they like new stuff, they like new ideas. So how can you come up with campaigns that actually target them better, speak their language? So that is where KCS is in the place. And we managed to push one of the product categories, and that is actually TV. It's a very expensive product in the market. So we managed to generate conversions, not from the offline, but is actually from the online side. So can you imagine people actually add to cart and with the product that is more than 20,000, for example. Yeah. So from there, we actually managed to grow the client profile from Malaysia and then now to Singapore for quite some time already. It's already more than 2 years. And now to the SEA level. So we are not just handle the local market digital marketing stops, but we are now coming on top from a global to work on a global strategy and then the local marketing strategy. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I'm curious to know, in the current environment, a lot of businesses have expressed concern about rising costs, be it on the rental front or because of tariffs that have been imposed by the U.S. globally on many countries. So I'm curious to know, in terms of digital marketing, whether businesses have come to you but expressed a similar concern in that maybe they don't have enough of a budget to spare for digital marketing campaigns and how you approach that.
So yeah, I think this is kind of like a common challenge that some of the businesses will face. But of course, they will have to look into what is the portions of the marketing budget they actually allocated for their own company. So that comes from the business itself. So from there, once we have understand that with this budget of amount, because for marketing, there's no something like a minimum or maximum, but it's more like who you really want to target and which market you really wish to enter, and then what sort of objectives of your goal when you do this marketing plan and execution, right? So from that, we will actually advise with this amount of budget allocated, how effective we can strategize the budget into different funnels, different platforms, and different strategies. And then how can we optimize your budget accordingly? So the strength in KCS is that we are always able to help our client maximize the budget to achieve a maximum result for them. So we don't just depend on tools and run on the fixed costing, but we always push to the max. So I guess this is why a lot of our clients, they really love to work with us, and our retention level is actually very high. Yeah.
Final question before we let you go, Keem. You obviously wear a marketing hat on a day-to-day basis when you're helping clients, but you also run a business, right? You're a co-founder, so you've got those responsibilities to juggle as well. I'm curious to know, what perhaps some of the biggest challenges have been running the business, whether it's operationally or otherwise, and what kind of pearls of wisdom you can share with entrepreneurs here in Southeast Asia or brand owners who might be listening who are trying to scale digitally in 2025. Anything that you could share would be great.
Okay, so to be honest, our business model is actually focusing on 3 things right now. So we are focused, the first one will be going with our clientele's brands, so testing new markets or launching campaigns, and we offer project-based work. Now, the second business model is actually focusing on a scale mode, so we offer retail-based growth partnerships. Well, the third focus will be for clients who are ready to tie marketing spend directly to revenue, and then we offer the performance-based engagement. So based on the 3 business models that I have just shared earlier, you already know that how intense is our workload. And it's not just about the technical marketing where you just do executions, but there will be a lot more brain work that needs to be contributed to our clients. So from the operations side, right, these people that needs to carry out the both strategic and tactical marketing team members has to be very talented and knowing in and out. So operations certainly is a very tight and heavy thing, and we are a people-based company. We use talent to serve as an agency.
She's the co-founder cum chief executive officer of Kredence Creative Solutions, a Malaysia-based full-stack digital marketing agency here in Southeast Asia. They offer data-driven performance marketing, creative media communications, and ad and branding activations, among other services. And we've been speaking to their co-founder cum chief executive officer, Suet Keem. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Keem.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. Stay with Money FM 89.3.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.